What's good, everyone? Welcome to episode 6 of the King McClure Show. Excited to be your home for everything college basketball news, notes, highlights, whatever you want. We got it all here, and we even talk about a little bit extra. Nonetheless, we got a loaded show for you like we do every week. We got 15 and 5. We're talking Texas Tech and Duke. We're talking about their best scoring guards and bigs combination. Hot or not, Kings of the Week. Who's tripping? I can't wait. We have a lot of stuff for you. All right, Hank, are you ready?
Let's do it.
As my man Hank pops up on the screen. Last week we started this. We did 15 and 5. Mind you, guys, I'm not at my crib. I'm at my parents' crib right now for the holidays since it's that Christmas season. We're recording this on Tuesday. Christmas is on Thursday. So I'm at my parents' crib. So yes, the background looks a little different. But nonetheless, we started something last week, 15 and 5, where I break down the top 15 teams in the country in 5 minutes. I got it done last week. It was by a buzzer beater, though. But this week, let's see if I can do it again or if I can get it done in a true 5. Hank, are you ready?
I'm ready. Take it away.
All right, let's go. Coming in at number 1, Arizona Wildcats. Once again, no change. They're rolling. They're good. What else can we say? We said the same thing. Best resume in the country. Tommy Lloyd and his Wildcats are rolling. Number 2, Michigan. They stayed the same. They honestly didn't really play anybody. They played LaSalle. They got a dub. That was cool. But nonetheless, they're good too. Um, Ken Pom actually says they've only played one top 25 opponent, according to Ken Pom. Don't hate me, hate Ken Pom. That's just the facts of the matter. All right, number 3, Iowa State. Last week they were number 4. They moved up number 3 because of the loss that Duke took. They're tough. They're good. They haven't really played anybody this week, but they're solid. They're a great team. All right. Culture matters. We talked about that on a previous episode. Number 4, UConn. They also move up. They were at number 5 last week. They moved up one spot because of the loss that Duke took. And UConn, is one of my favorite teams in the country, if not my favorite team. I love everything about them. Guards get you big game, get you wins in big games. And this UConn team has a plethora of them. Number 5, Purdue. They also move up. They were number 6 last week. They were number 5 this week. Braden Smith, Trey Kaufman, Wren. I mean, them dudes are good. The way that they handled Auburn and dismantled those guys, that was really impressive. But that's what you expect from this team. Braden Smith, 11 points, 14 assists. Who, that boy is good. All right, number 6, we have Duke. They took a big loss to I'm tripping. I'm blanking. Oh, I'm tripping. They took a big loss to Texas Tech.
Come
My
on,
bad.
yeah.
Let me put some respect on the Red Raiders. They took a big loss to Texas Tech, and we'll talk about that later on in the show. But we'll talk more about them later on. I'll save that. All right, number 7, Gonzaga. No change from last week. This team is good. They're old. They're experienced. That's what you expect. They didn't really play anybody this week, but they're good. They're legit. All right, number 8, Houston Cougars. Oh my goodness, the way that they beat Arkansas. I mean, they looked good. Defensively, the energy, I mean, they just looked good. And it seemed like that week off that they had, Kelvin Sampson did a really good job of just getting their attention and getting them back refocused. They looked good. All right. Number 9, Michigan State. No change from last week. They're staying the same. You know how it is. Jeremy Fears and those guys are good. Izzo, culture, once again, a culture team. And we'll continue to preach that on this show. They are a culture-driven squad. Number 10, BYU didn't really play anybody. However, AJ DeBansta had a 30-point triple-double. That is your number 1 pick. I don't care what people say. He is your number 1 pick in the draft.
Wait, tell me a little more about this game. Come on now. Because I didn't get to watch this. I just saw the clips.
I mean, the thing about it is, like, he's just so impressive. He can do more. I'm just going to go ahead and say it, Hank. I'm just going to go ahead and say it and be that guy. He can do more than Cam Boozer and Dan Peterson can do. He can do more. He can impact the game in ways that Boozer and Dan Peterson can't. Defensively, he's special. He's a better defensive player. I'm about to start saying he's a better passer than both of these guys.
And Peterson too?
Yeah. I mean, Darren Peterson is good, but he's not a great passer. And I wouldn't say AJ DeBansta is a great passer, but he's a good enough passer to where I would say he's better than Peterson in passing the basketball. But nonetheless, that's your number 1 pick in the draft. He impacts the game in more ways than Peterson and Boozer. All right, number 11, Vanderbilt. The Commodores, they're good. I mean, Duke Miles, Tyler Tanner, arguably one of the best backcourts, if not the best backcourt in the SEC. outside of Alabama. The SEC's on a down year, which you will get into later on in the show. But one of the best backcourts in the country. They're really underrated, really underappreciated. All right, number 12, North Carolina, no change. They almost took a loss to Ohio State. Bruce Thornton is really a dude, man. That Ohio State team in the Big Ten can wake some people up and make some noise because they have some bucket getters in Mobley, Bruce Thornton. You allow those guys to see one go in, you could be in for a very long night. But North Carolina was able to withstand those buckets that Ohio State threw at them, and they did a good job pulling off that dub, right? And it's good to get Seth Trimble back. Massive get because he was injured for a freak accident, but he's back. He's good. He looked good. That's a huge get back for North Carolina. All right, number 13, Nebraska. We talked about them last week. They're good. They're rolling. They're hot. Can't wait to see them play in Big Ten play because I want to see how they look against better competition. Number 14, Alabama Crimson Tide. They were number 16 last week. They moved up 2 spots. LeBaron Philon, arguably the best guard in the country. And Texas Tech, we're going to save that for later on in the episode because I have a lot to say about those guys. That is your 15 and 5, all right? This week's fallen. We have to mention this. This week, the teams who fell out, Louisville, number 16. They were number 11 last week. And Arkansas, number 18 now. They were number 14 last week. Those are the 2 teams who have fallen out of the top 15. Hank, we did a good job. No buzzer beater or nothing. I got it done within 5 minutes. Actually, I think I had like 4 minutes to spare, honestly.
Oh, 4 minutes to spare. Whoa, I don't know about that, but you did it in time.
I mean, 4 seconds. My bad. 4 seconds.
There
4
you
seconds.
go.
I'm tripping.
There you go.
I'm tripping. I'm tripping. My bad.
And then I threw you off too with the Devanstic question. So I'm putting obstacles in your way. You're getting through them. But you know what, King? This isn't a surprise. No one listening to this ever doubted you for a second. Let's move on though. You teased it a couple times. Texas Tech with the 82-81 win over Duke in Madison Square Garden. They came back from down 17 in the second half. Tell me about it. How'd this happen?
Oh my goodness. This right here, I think it's two-sided, okay? So we can talk about it from the Duke perspective and then the Texas Tech perspective. Let's start with Duke because there's a lot we can say about this. I'm a big believer in, and I keep saying this. Matter of fact, Hank, come back on the screen because I need you to, I think every single week we're going to have this. Hey, Hank, what do I always preach on here? I think we're going to say this every single week. Hank, what do I always preach on here?
Only wash under your armpits once a month. If you do more often than that, it'll get too clean. It disrupts your body's natural oils. King's been saying this for weeks now. He's like, don't overwash your armpits. It's going to be... No, I'm just kidding. Guards win in March.
All right, for those who are new to this show, because we're starting to get a few new subscribers. For those who are new, clearly Hank, you learn something about him every single week.
King.
Last week it was the fact that if you don't drink black coffee, right, you're not a man. You're soft. All right, that's what I learned last week. This week I learned that he doesn't wash under his armpits except for one time a week because every joke has a little bit of truth to it, right? So therefore, Hank doesn't wash his body correctly. You guys. Pray for him. Send him some soap recommendations because he might need those. Hank, you keep exposing yourself every single week.
That's not what I said at all. It was not even remotely close to what I said. And by the way, if you put milk in your coffee, I didn't say you're not a man. I said it makes you soft. But men and women can both be soft. You don't need to gender this take, all right?
Facts, he did say that. My bad. Let me quote him accurately, all right? Yeah. But let's talk about it from Duke perspective because Hank was right, all right? Good guards help you win big games, okay? And for Duke, when you look at their guards, you look at their backcourt between Isaiah Evans, between Caleb Foster, Caden Boozer, those guys, as good as they are, they only had 4 assists total in this game against Texas Tech. Big Pat, Cam Boozer combined for 11 assists between just those 2 guys. Big Pat, Cam Boozer. So your front court had more assists than your back court. How does that happen? Well, to me, it's a simple answer. That means your guards aren't doing a good enough job creating for others. Duke doesn't have any late shot clock guards. What does that mean? A late shot clock guard is when the shot clock gets under 10 seconds or below. Can you get into the lane, not just to score, but can you also create for others? Can you initiate offense without a coach calling a play? They don't have guys who can get by their man who are not worried about the primary defender and reading the help side defense. They don't have guys who can do that. And that's not a knock on any of those dudes. It's just the truth. And it shows up in moments like this. because now you have guys, right? And the good thing for Duke is you don't have to necessarily overly worry about this because you have arguably the best college basketball player playing college basketball right now. And he covers up a lot of your flaws. So you don't have to worry about this. But I'll tell you when you're going to have to worry about this. In big games, I don't think this is going to be the last time we have this conversation because when the moment mattered the most, first off, Texas Tech put Groves in there, and he was sitting down
Yeah, we're gonna
on
talk
Cam
about that,
Boozer.
dude. We're
And
gonna talk about
we
that
got
in
to
a
talk
moment.
about him, but he was sitting down on Cam Boozer. But outside of Cam Boozer, nobody at the end of the game, at the end of the down the stretch, could get to the lane and create. Nobody can. And I think this is a massive concern for this Duke team because, frankly, their guards just aren't good enough to be able to go be late shot clock guys and create. They're good players, but that's not one of their skill sets. So I am extremely concerned. Caden Boozer did have a good game. He had 13 points. But I'm extremely concerned for this Duke team, all right? But let's flip it over. And also, they missed a lot of free throws.
Well,
And Cam Boozer, how do you not get a shot off at the end of the game? You got to at least get a shot attempt up, right? Because Shire drew up a great play. He drew up a great play. You got to get a shot attempt up. That's unacceptable, all
wait,
right?
so
But nonetheless,
I
go
got a
ahead.
question about this guards and March thing though. So you always talk about how like the reason you need guards is for late in the shot clock in intense games, someone who can get a bucket,
Mhm.
when you need it. But what about like when there's 8 minutes left in the second half and that lead is slipping away? Is that a time when maybe like a coach could help out a little more and put in certain offenses
Yeah,
to help create offense for your guys without the guards needing to be
yeah.
the
So
generator?
That that's a great question. I'm glad you brought that up because yes, you're right. But if you talk to any coach, coaches will always say they can only do so much from the sidelines. So like, what happens, right? This isn't just necessarily late shot clock like at the end of a game. This is late shot clock on any possession. And I'm glad you asked this question because what happens when the coach calls a play and it doesn't work and the other team blows it up? Because a lot of times you'll play teams, you'll have defenses who will try to get you out of what you do, who will scout you. They'll watch your last 5 games and they know every single play. Like when I was at Baylor, we used to know every single play that a team was run. And we would call it out. We would look at their hand signals, we would hear their calls. And as soon as the coach said it, let's say he just said something like, I don't know, Rover 3, right? We're saying Rover 3, Rover 3, Rover 3. And we all know what that is because we put so much attention to detail in a scouting report. And in a game like that, when you're on national television, you're on a primetime stage, of course, the scouting reports might even get a little deeper because you don't want to get embarrassed in those moments. So no doubt, especially when you get a conference play, it's a different level because not every team knows they're so familiar with you because you typically play everybody twice.
Yeah, you've been
Maybe
playing them for
not
years
now.
too,
Yeah,
for
and
the
you've been
most
playing
part.
them for
Yeah.
years. So all these coaches are extremely familiar with each other. So they know the ins and outs. So that's why you got to have guys, no matter what time it is in the game, you have to have guys who can just say, you know what? All right, coach, the play didn't work. Let me just go generate offense. Let me just go create. Because if I can go create, I can make everything easier for my teammates. Because now you don't have to call offense because I can go make a play. Players make plays. Coaches can sometimes control the game, but at the end of the shot clock, when there's nothing else to do, you better just go make a play, all right? And that's what happened with Texas Tech. That's what I was so impressed with when you look at a guy like Christian Anderson. A lot of those plays that Christian Anderson made, those were at the end of a shot clock. Shot clock is running down. Let me hit this sidestep 3 over the top of a big. Let me break you down and get to the lane, right? Let me hit this other 3. Coach, you ain't got to call nothing for me. I can just get the ball and go rock out. And that's what Christian Anderson did. That is my example of a late shot clock guy is Christian Anderson, right? But Christian Anderson, we'll get to him in a second, right? Because him and JT Toppin are phenomenal. But the two things I want to point out is number one, Groves. My man does not play. He barely played all year. He's not known to score. He hasn't added much to this Texas Tech team all year. Man, they throw him in the game because LaJuan Watts is fouled out and in foul trouble. And my man comes in and he starts playing like he's Alex Caruso or something, just absolutely clamping, sitting down, making it tough. That's a perfect example. We used to always have this phrase, next man up mentality. Next man up. That right there was a perfect example of just the next man up. All right, it's my time. I don't care if I haven't played. I don't care if I haven't contributed all season. right? On the biggest stage in which I can play in, my name has been called. Now I got to be ready to produce, right? Perfect example. Let me give you a story, Hank. All right. Story time with King. So we're playing in the Battle for Atlantis, and we are in the championship game. So the first game we played VCU, Shaka Smart. Second game we played Michigan State, Izzo. Third game we were playing Louisville, Donovan Mitchell, Rick Pitino, right? So we're undefeated at this point. I have been absolutely horrible, Hank. Absolutely terrible. Hank, put yourself on the screen.
I don't believe
I've
it.
been absolutely horrible,
I don't
Hank. I'm
believe it.
talking about so bad, right? My coach, Scott Drew, had to come up to me before the game and was like, "Hey, King, I have a really good feeling about this game." And I really do think that you're going to have a really big game. I know you haven't played good all season, but I have a good feeling about this game. Boy, you would have thought Coach Drew was a prophet or something. The way he just called that one, right? So game starts. Boy, Louisville starts spanking us. Donovan Mitchell starts going crazy in the first half. I look up, we're down by 20, right? I always would go in at the 16-minute mark. Always would go at the 16-minute mark. And if I was playing good, I would keep going. If I was not playing good, I'm getting yanked. All right. So that's just how it was with Scott Drew. So this particular game, I went in the 16-minute mark. I was horrible, didn't do anything, didn't contribute. Boom, you're on the bench. All right. I get my little 3 minutes of fame, my 3 minute chance. I failed. All right. Once again, for like the seventh or eighth game in a row.
So
So
wait,
I'm
so
on
how are
the
you
bench.
feeling when you go, the sub comes in, taps you out, you walk over to the bench. What's going through your mind right there?
Look, I already knew if I hadn't hit a few shots, I'm already knowing. I'm already looking at the bit. I'm at the bench at the
Yeah.
table and being like, yeah, that's for me. He plays my position. That guy is coming in for me. All right, y'all have fun. All right, I'll just go be a spectator.
Mm-hmm.
So I go sit on the bench. Right, nobody could do anything right. Luckily for me, I wasn't the only person that was horrible. At halftime, we're down by 20. All right. Second half goes. Once again, I get another chance, 16-minute mark, because at this point, we're so bad. Coach is like, hey, we're just going to throw in anybody and just see if we can get some answers. All of a sudden, boom, I hit one shot. Boom, I hit another shot. Boom, I hit another shot. And all of a sudden, like that 20-point lead is slowly dwindling and it's getting down to like that 13, 14 range.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't take me out. All the way, I'm going all the way down, and I didn't come out at all in the second half once I went in there, and we ended up winning that game. I had like 16 points in the second half, and we ended up winning that game and winning the Battle for Atlantis tournament in one of the biggest stages that we can play in. And I was getting buckets on Donovan Mitchell. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was. I'll take that, right? And it was so funny because Rick Pitino, you can see in one of the replays or whatever. Rick Pitino. So I was so bad, Hank. This is how bad I was. I wasn't even on their scouting report. Like they knew nothing about me. They didn't even have the audacity to put me on a scouting report because I was so horrible up to that point. Like I didn't even matter. I was so irrelevant. So you can clearly see Rick Pitino looking at his assistants and being like, "Yo,
Who
who
is
the
that?
f is this kid? Who is this kid killing us? Like who the f is he?" And like he's getting visibly frustrated. Like, he's pissed. He is pissed because he's like, "Who the f is this kid right here?" That's honestly one of my favorite college basketball moments to have a dude like Rick Pitino be like, "Who the f is he?" Like,
Yeah,
right?
man.
So I say all this to say, right? You just never know. And then from that moment on, right, my minutes started going up. I started playing better. I got inserted into the starting lineup. This is my sophomore year. I got inserted into the starting lineup, but probably about like 4 or 5 games later. And for that, it just changed everything for me. So I say this to say, you just never know when your moment is going to be. But when your moment is, you got to step up and be ready. And that's exactly what Groves did. He was ready to go guard the best player in the country. And he did a really, really good job. He just made it tough. Did he slow him down? Did he stop him? Not really. But he made it tough. And that's all you can ask for when you're guarding a guy like him, right? A Cam Boozer. But this JT Toppin, Christian Anderson duo, whew, is absolutely special. And what I'm most impressed with when you talk about Christian Anderson is just the confidence in which he plays with. And I watched them when they scrimmaged OU in a preseason exhibition in the scrimmage. It was a closed scrimmage. I went to the scrimmage. And I'm watching Christian Anderson, and he's shooting shots from the volleyball line. I'm talking about like just mid pool, like off of pick and roll. I'm shooting that thing from the volleyball line. Like I like to say, well, they used to say, maybe I'm not going to phrase it that way, but he has big cojones, right? Let's put it like that, right? Am I allowed to say that, Hank?
I think you're allowed to say it. I think it's a different
Okay,
language,
okay,
so
yeah,
that
yeah,
counts.
okay,
Yeah,
cool.
but also this is
That's
the
cool.
King McClure Show, so I'm pretty sure you can say whatever you want.
Yeah, but I'm not trying to cancel. But yeah, my man just has that massive confidence, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when the game is on the line. He wants to rock, and I think that's attributed to what he did this past summer when he played with the German team, right? When he's learning from Dennis Schroeder, learning from Franz Wagner, and learning from those guys. I think that's what you can attribute that to, that confidence. When you've been on a stage with them dudes, of course, this college basketball stage it is way easier, you know? So I think that when you look at Christian Anderson, I mean, we talk about dudes who are just confident, who are just, determined to go be great and to go show you how great they are. He is one of them dudes, and he is absolutely legit. So shout out to Nolan Groves. Also, Lawan Watts. This is my other thing that I took away from this game. Even though he fouled out early, I think Texas Tech is starting to find that third option because for the longest I've been saying that it's been a two-man crew. It's been Toppin, it's been Anderson. They don't have a third option. But LaJuan Watson back-to-back games is showing us that he can step up when it comes to scoring the basketball. That he can really, really, start to be that, that almost Darren Williams-esque type player from last year. And he can really take this Red Raider offense to a different level because they need another guy. They need a third guy, especially when, like I just said, when you get to Big 12 play, get the conference play. Now, all of a sudden, the scouting report gets a little harder. Teams start to play better defense because they know what you're going to do. So now you need a third option. And I think LaJuan Watts can be that, right? But
Yeah,
we talk about Toppin and we talk about Anderson, right? To transition. Me and Hank had a great idea. Hank was like, hey, King,
everyone
give
gets
me,
lucky. Every dog has his day for sure.
yeah. Hank got a great idea. He was like, hey, King, give me your top five guard and big combos in college basketball. I said, let's do it. I'm always down for a challenge. All right. And once again, you might not love this list, but nonetheless, it's my list. All right.
Yeah,
It's my
wait.
list.
Before we get
And
into
I,
this,
I
like,
approve, huh?
what was your, what was your reasoning here? What were you when you thought this through? Because I mean, I thought you were gonna take some time to think about this. You had this ready to go. So either this sort of thing is just always on your mind, or you knew exactly what you were looking for.
Yeah.
So tell the people kind of how you decided this, how it shook out.
Um, it was just kind of off of just fun. It's just I
You
just
could say
thought
vibes. You could just say the
just
vibes.
all right, just vibe. I like that. It's just off of the vibes, all right? Just good vibes, positive energy, and that's what I went off of, all right?
Yeah,
Hank, are you ready for this top 5 list?
I'm ready for the top five. Take it away.
All right, let's go at number 5. So number 5, this guy might not be considered a big, but because of the sake of vibes, I like him as a big, and I like those vibes because he can do it all. He's versatile. All right, we're going to UConn. Solo ball, Alex Caravan at number 5. I love what Alex Caravan can do. He's so versatile. He can play the 3. He can play the 4. If Reed or Kriva or if somebody, one of their bigs is not playing well, then you can just insert him in at the 5 spot because he is about 6'8" or 6'9". He's so versatile. We're gonna put him as a big, and because he's not a true big, that's why they got put number 5, or else they probably be a little bit higher than that. So solo ball and Alex Caravan number 5. All right, number 4. Now this one is yes. All right. Caden and Cam Boozer. We're going Boozer twins. And with this one, the vibes here were Cam Boozer is so dang good that he has to be inserted on this list some way. All right. And because Caden Boozer had a really good game and they combined for like 40 points together in this last game, I'm going to throw them in here just because I'm a prisoner of the moment. And Cam Boozer is just that level of good. All right.
Not to
So he's
mention
really,
Duke media
right?
bias. We are media members. We have to observe
Yeah.
this.
I don't have that. I don't have no Duke. I will never have Duke media biased. I get tired of that. I will never. I'm not a hater by any means, Hank. You might love Duke. I'm not a hater, but I cannot take part of that
No,
bandwagon.
hand up, I'm a hater for sure. But at the same time, I'm also a producer, and I know how to get clicks here. So Duke's gonna be on a lot of these lists. And the Boozer Twins as well. Hashtag Boozer Twins if you look under our videos. Just saying,
Hashtag Boozer Twin.
it does well. It
I,
does
I
well.
love I love it, Hank. Right?
Right.
I love it. That's smart. That's Hank, and that's his UT brain coming out right there. We love it, even though he admitted to being a hater openly. I love it. All right. So number 4, we got Caden and Cam Boozer. Cam is really carrying that. Caden, because he's good, but he probably shouldn't be on this list. But Cam is carrying it. So for that, at number 4, right? Number 3, this is when the list gets real serious, all right? Number 3, we're going to Arizona. We got Jaden Bradley and Koa Pete. We got the young man and the vet. All right. Jaden Bradley, one of the best point guards in the country, is terrific. Then you're playing with a guy like Koa Pete, who will be a lottery pick, who has just shown us time and time again how physically dominant he can be down low, and they're the number one team in the country. So you have to throw these guys in here. All right. That's number three, Jaden Bradley and Koa Pete. So we're going now to number two. We're going to Purdue because my man Braden Smith and Trey Kaufman-Renn. And granted, is Trey Kaufman-Renn a true five? He's not a true five, but I think he plays a very similar role to what JT Toppin does at Texas Tech. Is that short roll, get you to that floater, can pass out, can do a plethora of things on the offensive side to help you win games. So for that, they're going to be number two. And number one, we just talked about him earlier, but there's no other right answer than Texas Tech. Christian Anderson, JT Toppin. I mean, we just talked about how dynamic they are. They're honestly the whole offense for Texas Tech. But now Lawan Watts is coming up, so they're going to be a little bit better. But they are the primary offense for Texas Tech, and they are your best guard and big duo in the country.
King, have you ever heard
Hank,
of?
how do we feel about this list?
I like it. Have you ever heard of recency bias?
Yeah, I think that there's some recency bias in this list for sure.
But also, you've been telling me about Christian Anderson since the season started. I'm pretty sure we had a conversation on the first episode of the show when you said he could be an All-American this year. So I mean, and that's a guy. I think if anything's going to take Texas Tech, remember we did our contender tiers last week. If anything's going to take Texas Tech up to that next level, Christian Anderson turning into like a go-to scorer. Someone who can, like you always say, take the game over in crunch time. Because we know what JT Toppin can do. But
For
having
sure.
a second guy of that level would be special. What are you looking for Texas Tech when they get into conference play? Is there anything you want to see them develop, improve on to take them more
Yeah,
seriously?
can they get better defensively? I mean, what's interesting is I literally said this on TikTok. Go follow my TikTok at King McClure if you have not. All right, a lot of good content on there. All right, but nonetheless, I said this on TikTok is Texas Tech, Grant McCaston, who coached me at Baylor, he's always been a defensive guy. Everywhere he's gone, North Texas, defensive guy. Midwestern State, defensive guy. Arkansas State, defensive guy. Defense has been his first thing. It's his first love. But now at Texas Tech, they aren't great defensively. They're really good offensively, but defensively, they struggle. And that's one of their weaknesses. So they have to get better on the defensive side of things. So that's what I'm looking for. Can they improve defensively? Because when you get to the conference, when you get to conference play, you're definitely going to need that. And arguably the best conference in the country. All right.
Hey,
And
what a tease!
speaking of that, right? When
Veteran
we come
podcaster
right
right
back.
here.
Yeah, in fact, when we come right back, Hank, we are going to give the people an updated list of the best conferences, best rankings of the best conference rankings.
See, I was
The
gassing you
the
up, and you
yeah.
you blew it. You blew it. That was an easy
Oh my
sentence.
goodness, I
We're
messed up.
gonna.
I messed up my moment. I was doing so well, and I messed up the moment, Hank. All right, but nonetheless, we're gonna give you the best conference rankings. We're gonna rank the conference.
Let's
I
just
don't
go to
know.
break.
Just we're going to break, and then we come back. I'll let you know what we got. All right, we are back, and I can finally speak now. Okay. I don't know what was going on. All right, but nonetheless, all right, let's go. So earlier on, when we first started this show, I gave you my top five rankings of the conferences. All right. And that list did not come into fruition. I don't know what I was thinking because I was thoroughly wrong. We're not even going to take it back. We're not even going to tell you what I said.
Well,
All right, we're
King,
going to
I
get.
feel like we owe the people some transparency here, and also, although that list turned out to be not the greatest,
Okay.
I do think that there were reasons that you put it together. Like you talked it through at the time, and so seeing how stuff has changed, what has happened that you expected, and what has happened that you didn't expect,
Okay.
So like for example, the last list you had Big 12 number one, SEC 2, ACC 3, the Big 10 4, and the Big East 5. Now the big reason for the Big 10 being so low was because you were very skeptical of Purdue, who at that point was the number one team in the country. However, what we didn't see coming is Michigan becoming every bit as good as what people thought Purdue was going to be. So
Yes.
some things change, some things stay the same, and as we go through this, it's a good exercise to talk about what we were wrong about, and then also what we were right about. And by
You know what?
we,
You're
yeah,
you're right. You're right, Hank.
yeah, come on.
Full transparency. Hank just said the list. All right. So let me correct myself because going into conference play, now that we are about to hit Not Thanksgiving. I'm tripping. Christmas and New Year's. Now they're about to hit these going to the new year. Conference play is approaching. So let me give you now my updated real conference rankings. Are we ready, Hank?
Take it away.
Let's go. At number 5, we are going to stay the same. The Big East. They have my favorite team in the country in UConn. But outside of that, oh goodness. I mean, maybe St. John's, maybe Seton Hall, but other than that, goodness, ugh, they have not been good. They have not been impressive. And for that, they're number 5, all right? Number 4, with a massive drop off. I was not expecting this, but number 4, we're going to SEC. Man, to have your top ranked team right now be Vanderbilt. Who would have expected, Hank? Did you expect Vanderbilt to be the top ranked team going into SEC play?
I didn't know they had a basketball team, if I'm being honest.
All right, Hank.
That's a baseball school. That is a baseball
Right,
school. And
no, clear, hey, put some respect on Diego Pavia's name.
I will,
That is
I
a
will never do
football.
that. I
No,
will never do
that
that.
is a football school too, because Diego Pavia is, I mean, as wild as he is, he goes out there and he can ball, he can play. All
All
right,
5'9" of them. Yeah.
yeah, wild young man. His TikToks are hilarious. Wild dude. All right, talking about give me the Heisman already. Boy, relax, sit down. Right. But they're a football school too, and clearly now their basketball is being elevated and going to a different level. But I would have never expected that Vanderbilt is now at this level of good because whoa, wow. Okay. All right, let's go next. Number 3, ACC. I think yeah, they're staying the same. All right, Duke, Carolina, Louisville. We see Virginia being better now. The ACC is good. I mean, they're really top heavy. The bottom of the ACC is not great, but they're still a pretty good conference. Still really competitive, right? Wake is decent, but they're solid, all right? Number 2, Big Ten. They made the biggest jump because I had them 4th, and boy, was I wrong. I mean, you look at what Nebraska has done. You look at USC now being inserted into the top 25, even Iowa being inserted into the top 25. We look at I know so many good teams. Michigan taking off and going to another level. Ohio State's been solid. They've been competitive, almost beating North Carolina. Illinois has been fantastic. This Big Ten conference is loaded. Michigan State, this conference is going to be deep. They're going to be loaded this year. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see at minimum 8 teams make the NCAA tournament from the Big Ten because they're that deep and they're that talented. All right.
Hey, one
Number
team I
one,
want to ask you about before we move off the Big Ten, and I nearly forgot to do this because I can't believe this team is in the Big Ten. But USC is a team that you mentioned that's been getting a little hot lately. Technically a Big
yeah.
Ten team, even though it feels wrong to say. Is that a
Yeah.
team you think could sneak up this list a little bit? Maybe be a reason Big Ten climbs the rankings?
Probably not.
Okay.
Probably not.
No, okay, that's fair.
Chad Baker Mazzara is really good. Honestly, he's a guy who arguably is having his best college basketball season ever. I mean, he's been in college for forever,
Yeah,
literally.
he's your
He's
age,
almost
right?
my age. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
almost my age. He's older than Hank, but he's almost my age, which is crazy to say. But my man he's playing his best basketball that he has played. But I'm not huge on this USC team. I think they're solid, but I'm not super huge. All right.
Do you think
So
that let me give one more. Do you think
oh.
that like there's a physical advantage to being full grown and being guarded by like 18 and 19-year-olds, right? Like is it less impressive what CBM is doing considering he has his AARP card?
I'm not gonna say it's less impressive. I would say that you look at a guy like Cam Boozer or AJ DeBansto, who's only about 18 or 19, and you see how talented they are. I mean, there's talent at all ages, and there are guys who are just physically ready to go into the league and to be able to produce. I mean, Cooper Flag at 18 years old stepped into the NBA and he's ready to play.
That's
I
what I
mean,
was thinking. Yeah.
he's the go-to player of the Mavericks now.
Yeah.
So when you look at guys like that, I'm not going to put age on it, but I mean, to be Chad Baker Mazzara's age, you better be dominating. You better be getting buckets. You better understand how the game works. It better be slowed down for you. You better produce because you're old enough and you've been through enough college basketball and had enough experience to understand what it takes at this level. So yes, I would say that it's not impressive, but it's expected for guys of his age to
I
be
like it.
able to go out there and produce. All right.
That's a
And
good frame.
speaking of produce, number one team in the country, filled with teams who only produce, and that's the Big 12. They're deep, they're loaded. They have the best team in the country with the best resume. They have ducked no smoke. Iowa State is up there too. I mean, this is going to be a grind when it comes to the Big 12 conference play. Another team that's low-key sneaking up on people is UCF. UCF is 10-1 as of right now. They're playing Florida Atlantic, and they might lose. The game literally just started while we're recording. But as of right now, they are 10-1. They received a top 25 vote. And it's actually really good, selfishly, because I have their game against Arizona on ESPN in early parts of January. I forgot it's on a Saturday. I think the second Saturday. But selfishly, I really hope that UCF continues to win because if that can be a top 25 matchup and if Arizona can stay the number one team in the country, ooh, we might be in for a treat. All right. And speaking of a treat, you will be in for a treat when we come right back because we got Hot or Not and we got Who's Tripping, my favorite segment. All right. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. And two of my favorite segments. First off, Hot or Not, and then Who's Tripping. All right, so for Hot or Not, Hank throws out something, teams, players, whatever he wants to throw out. And I'm gonna let you know if they are hot or if they are not. And Hank, let's get it going.
All right,
Take us away.
first up, surprisingly, not the first time we've mentioned this school on this podcast. Purdue Fort Wayne. Hot or not?
Hot.
Yeah, baby.
Your girls earlier in the season go beat Purdue. They beat the Purdue women. And now you go beat Notre Dame? Whoo-wee. You are hot, all right? Purdue Fort Wayne is absolutely hot. But Frank, you have something to say, so tell us who is not
Oh,
hot.
brother, come on, man. I thought the Frank thing was dead. Are you fucking with me now? Is that all it is?
I said Hank.
No, you did not.
I said Hank. I swear I said Hank.
You're on a microphone, King. You can't lie about this. Like I can run it back
Did I
for
say
you.
Frank?
It was Frank for sure. I'll start calling you Ding.
All right, look, every time I call you Frank, which has not happened in a very long
No,
time.
it's been a minute.
Right?
Yeah, you've been better for sure.
You can call me Ding. I don't know why I say Frank. Maybe because the Fort Wayne and like the all right, my bad. Never mind.
No,
Hey,
yeah, sure. Yeah, because you think about
me-
Purdue Fort Wayne so often that it gets tough. Yeah, no problem. No, let me get it back to Fort Wayne for a second. A couple things on this team. First of all, their mascot is the Mastodons, which is awesome. That's dope. More teams should have weird mascots. If you're the only team in the country,
what is
with
a
that mascot-
mastodon?
It's like a woolly mammoth. It's like the actual name for a woolly mammoth. That's cool, man. And Mastodon's a dope name too. The Dons to like shorten it. I like that. Second, Indiana, big basketball state, and now Purdue Fort Wayne has wins over Purdue and Notre Dame. If I'm with the University of Indiana, or if I'm with UE Puli or any other school in that state, I'm not scheduling them anymore. You're gonna hurt yourself for recruiting. Purdue Fort Wayne wants everyone to know they run the state of Indiana. Okay, I love this. I love this story so much.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. If you're Purdue Fort Wayne, you better have this on your recruiting everything. Like if you sending
Oh yeah,
something to a recruit, this better be front and center with wins over Notre Dame, with wins over Purdue. You can come here and pull off upsets.
run the
This is
state
what
of
we
Indiana.
do.
And if I
You
could back up, also Indiana is kind of having a moment. If you look at the last couple, like the Colts were good for a second, not anymore, but kind of good. The Pacers made an NBA Finals. All right, the Fever are hot, dude. Come on. And they did all that without Caitlin Clark last season.
And Pat McAfee is a dude, an Indiana legend.
Yeah, let's go. ESPN coworker Pat McAfee, who we support. Let's go to the next one.
All right. Who do you have for me?
All right.
What you have next for me, Hank?
Georgetown head coach Ed Cooley, hot or not?
I'm gonna say I'm gonna say lukewarm because let's get into the situation. For those who don't know, my man got upset, threw a water bottle, and it hit a kid. And granted, that's bad. That's horrible.
That's bad. Yeah, that's
Should
bad every
should
time.
he have been suspended? I, I I hate to phrase this, but like, no, I don't think he should be suspended for that. Like he didn't intentionally try to do it. He just couldn't control his throw. And like didn't even see the kid right there. So like I don't think that it was an intent to actually hurt the kid. Now, what he should have done, right? He should have taken care of that kid. Whatever expenses, medical expenses are needed because the kid got hurt. He should have taken care of that. Like he should have done that, which I knowing him, I think he definitely would have done that. But I don't think he should have been suspended for this. I don't know. The intent behind it was not one of anything malicious. He was just pissed off that I think they lost. But nonetheless, I don't think he should have been suspended. Hank, should he have gotten suspended?
It's so tough. I mean, look, first off, I want to say I'm a big Ed Cooley fan. I think he's an awesome coach.
Yeah.
I grew up in the DC area. I'm not sure I've seen Georgetown be that great in my lifetime. I have memories when I was young, but I was a big Otto Porter fan. But like I would love to
Mm.
see this school return to the program that I've heard stories about, and I think Ed Cooley actually could be the guy to get them there. He was awesome at Providence, so I'm excited for his Georgetown tenure. All that said, and you can't be throwing things into the stands. And yes, this is like the worst case scenario is hitting a kid, but like, the Georgetown had a shot at the buzzer to tie the game. They missed it. He reacted by just chucking the bottle over his shoulder. It was a mistake, but mistakes have consequences. And like, you know, one
And
game.
you're right. You're right. Mistakes do have consequences, but I don't know. I mean, just throw in the. I mean, I guess I've seen coaches do way worse and have way less severe consequences. So
There is also an element of like who's able to get away with this sort of thing and who isn't, you know?
yeah, like if okay, let's just play this game. If Bill Self were to throw a water bottle and it hits a kid, is he getting suspended?
No, the kid's asking him to sign it after the game.
All right, like if Izzo does it, is he getting suspended?
Well, I don't think Izzo throws that hard at this point, so I'm not sure he could reach the stands. But your point stands.
Like I mean, if Kelvin Sampson does this, is he getting suspended? No,
Yeah,
because
probably not.
because the it's I just don't think that a suspension is even on the table. If any of those three guys were to do something like this, So I think to your point of, who did it, for sure, it definitely comes into play, but I just don't think that this is a suspension worthy. Like I think you should have done something to make it right, whatever that looks like. Like, and some coaches might go above and beyond. Like maybe season tickets for that kid, that family. Maybe their family is able to just travel and go with the team. Like you should have done something. You went above and beyond. But I don't think that you should necessarily get suspended. All right. So for that, I'm gonna say that Ed Cooley, control your emotions. You're tripping. We're going to go to Who's Tripping, my favorite segment
America's favorite
of the
segment.
show. All right.
Yeah.
America's favorite segment is Who's Tripping. All right. This week on Who's Tripping, number one, we have Silas Demery. All right. Silas Demery, are we gonna be able to put this tweet up on the screen or no?
No, I don't got it to fly.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Well, Dan Hurley tweeted, I just spoke to Silas on the plane. He's feeling great now. The problem on the court was that he mixed an electrolyte drink with pickle juice at halftime. That was obviously a mistake. So, number one, that tells me that he was cramping, all right? He was cramping severely because I've been there. I've never been a guy. We used to have this stuff called the right stuff, Hank. And it was like an electrolyte mix, but it tasted super, super, super salty. It was like one of the worst things you can ever have in your life. I think it did have a little bit of pickle juice, but I'm not a big pickle guy. I don't like pickles. I hate pickles. I can't stand pickles. Don't give me pickles on a sandwich. Don't give me no pickle to eat. I don't care if it's a Kool-Aid pickle. I just hate pickles.
I mean, this is just another thing that divides us. Everything pulls us further apart. I love pickles. I think they're awesome.
Oh
They're a
my
little
goodness.
salty. You got a crunch in there, Yeah, I like
Look,
pickles a
you
lot.
look like you just walk around with a pickle and you're just biting it all the time. Like you look like you just walk around.
What the fuck? What does that even mean? No, I don't. I'm not just like raw dogging them. I'll eat like one or two like pickled chips as a snack or something. I will say like
Oh
my,
my goodness.
my girlfriend loves a pickle. If I've gone and like got myself a sandwich for lunch before and come home and she's like, "Where's my pickle?" And I'm like, "Oh, I didn't. You weren't with me, and I didn't." And it's like it's worse than yeah. It's the worst thing I could do to her. I have to if I
So
go get a
you're
sandwich, I
you're
have to
the
bring her a
guy.
pickle.
So you're the guy that gets just the pickles out of a jar
I like
and like just
on
just
occasion.
gets a pickle out of a jar and just eat, just start.
I've done it. I don't always make that noise, but I've done it. And the thing is like like I said, like I'll order a sandwich. It comes with two side pickles. I like pickles. I want to eat them, So but then my girlfriend is like, "Can I have your pickle?" And she loves pickles. So I have to be like, "Yeah." But I get a little sad about it every time. So then sometimes that's why we keep them
I
in the fridge.
I can't. I'm always gonna order a sandwich. Give me a number one at Chick-fil-A with no pickles.
See,
Like no pick. I don't even want my pickles touching the sandwich because I don't even want to be able to taste that a pickle was on there. I'm not doing relish. Not doing that. I can't. I just can't do pickles. All right. I know how we got on the topic
No, because
of
I'll
Hank
get us
loving
I'll get us
pickles.
back right here. So Silas Demery, I think what
Okay.
you
Yeah.
skipped
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Yeah.
This
Yeah.
was during the game against DePaul, UConn's game against DePaul.
Yep.
Demery, in the middle of the play, sprints off the court up the tunnel. From the broadcast, you can't really see, and then the announcer says, "I'll just let you know." He was vomiting on the court, and then the slow mo, you see him and kind of like poof his cheeks out a little bit. So Demery threw up on the court, ran off, and then Dan Hurley tweeted out this tweet to let him know the problem was he mixed an electrolyte drink with pickle juice. I feel like King, based on what I know about you, that would make you throw up now. Yes, maybe. So maybe he's not
Oh,
tripping.
1,000%. I thought like I'll take the electrolyte drink, but as soon as you put the pickles in it, I probably would have had a similar reaction. However, I'm assuming because he was willing to try it that this was not his first time. Either that or he was just in desperate need of something to revive him from cramping. That he was like, you know what, I'll try it, and then it just didn't sit right with him. So nonetheless, for this, Silas Demery, you're tripping. All right,
All right.
understand what you can take and tolerate. And if you're gonna try to risk something or do something for the first time, do it after the game. Don't do it during the game, man. You're tripping, all right? And number two, this guy right here, Draymond Green. Okay, I know this is a college basketball podcast, but Draymond Green, sir, come to the front of the line because I just don't understand in what world can you, as a NBA vet, leave the bench and just choose not to play because you're upset due to emotions flaring on the sideline. I mean, emotions always flare. So, like that tells me right there, Hank, that you can't control your emotions. That you can't be professional enough. You can't be mature enough to be able to process your emotions and not cause them to get you out of character. Because what that tells me is that you were about to get out of character and you're about to do something that you probably would have regretted. So as I'm assuming he's like 34, 35, as a 35 or 34-year-old man, Draymond Green, you have to control your emotions. We've just seen this time and time again. And I have the utmost respect for Draymond Green because I just think that he is a phenomenal piece and one of the best role players we've ever seen in the NBA, if not the best. Without him, the Warriors don't get their 4 championships. He got thrown into a great situation. He's a great basketball player. He's a guy who I would love to play with. But it's moments like this that just make me be like, man, here we go again. Here we go with just your foolish antics. And I feel like this is just a time, it's like a reoccurring occurrence. Like it's just a constant thing that just doesn't stop. And like, when will it ever stop? Like you're on the tail end of your career and you're still publicly admitting that you cannot control your emotions. You got to be better. And for that, you are absolutely tripping.
Yeah, I mean, some of the best advice I ever got was don't make the same mistake twice. Draymond has made this mistake several times now. Um, I
Several
one
times.
one you're a grown man, like keep your emotions in check. Two, after the game, Steve Kerr said that he didn't send Draymond to the locker room. Draymond chose to go to the locker room. So I mean, I think to me that's where the line is drawn. Like I understand being a competitor, letting emotions rise in the heat of the moment. I remember a time when Jimmy Butler yelled at Eric Spoelstra got in his face, and Udonis Haslem had to step in, and calm things down. This was towards the tail end of Jimmy's time with the Heat. But I will say, what didn't happen is Jimmy didn't leave the court, because to me those tensions are going to rise, in the heat of the battle, in the heat of the moment, whatever. But you have to be able to put the first thing first, which is winning. So Draymond yelling, raising your voice, whatever, maybe he had a legitimate reason to challenge Kerr. We don't know what that conversation was actually about. But by taking yourself out of the game, you are, if you believe you're a good player and you believe you make a difference by being out there, which I know Draymond does, you are actively hurting your team's chances to win. And the second thing about Draymond is that, I think his leadership at this point is suspect. There is a video of that man punching his teammate in the face in a practice, Now at this point, the Warriors right now are in a tough time, and this is a game they're winning against the Magic, who are a good team, who play a very physical style. A player like Draymond should be like, we need this win, and I want to be out there to help my team do it. And the fact that he's putting me over we in that moment, awful. And one of my favorite players to watch back in his day, and a good listen on a podcast too on occasion. But this is not what you want to see.
Fact, this is not. So for that, he is tripping, all right? But we're not going to end this episode on negativity, all right? We're going to end this on positivity, because it's Christmas time, and this is the last episode that you will see before the best time of the year comes along, all right? So for that, I have my NCAA basketball, my college basketball Christmas wish list to cap off the show. Hank, you ready?
I'm ready. Take it away.
All right, number one on my Christmas wish list is, I wish that we could fix NIL. I wish that we could just fix NIL, and we could find ways to make the system better. I think players definitely deserve to get paid. I think they should get money based off their name, image, and likeness. But we got to have some rules, regulations, guidelines, whatever you want to call it. We got to have something in place that lets us know what's okay versus what's not okay. So my number one thing on the wish list is, I wish that we could fix NIL, all right? Number two, Hank, I wish that we can go into quarters instead of halves. This is a good one, because every other sport plays quarters. Every other sport resets foul count. This is the biggest reason why. They reset the foul count at the end of the quarter. And I love that, because we don't want to see teams shoot free throws and prolong the game throughout the second half or whenever, right? So I wish that we could go into quarters instead of halves. And my third one and my final one is that I wish, actually, maybe not my final one, but my third one, I wish that I had 4 more years of eligibility so I can go get some of this money that they're throwing around, right?
Hey, if I could give that to you, I would.
I wish I would have been born like 4 years later, or probably like 3 years later, and I probably would be.
Yeah, you just missed it.
Yeah, I would literally have $1 million in my name right now, and that would be lovely.
The way they still
that would be lovely.
The way they still talk about you in Waco too. I mean, dude, every local mom and pop would have wanted King McClure on their sign. I'm just saying, what is lovely. It like Leon Sandcastle? Those commercials, you could throw on. You could throw on some fake mustache and maybe fling mature or whatever.
The two NIL deals that I probably would have gotten and probably would have approached off rip: Smoothie King, Burger King. Simple.
Yeah. You know what? I saw a tweet that was like, if you want to, ensure that your child has a long and fruitful career, name them like Ferrari. Ferrari Groberg is gonna get so many. I don't know my kids are gonna be like curlers or something like that. I don't know, not the most athletic genes over here, but you give them the name of the sponsorship you want. You got to speak it into existence. Even Pringle Groberg could be nasty at horseback riding.
I actually don't hate that idea. I never thought about that. I kind of like that. All right. And my fourth and final thing, Hank, I wish that everybody who watches this podcast, subscribes to us, I wish you all have a very, very Merry Christmas. Hank, I wish you have a Merry Christmas as well. What are you doing for Christmas? You doing anything fun?
Yeah, I'm going back to Austin. I'll be with the family. It's gonna be exciting. Yeah, back in Texas.
Keep Austin weird, the weird town.
That's why I'm going. It's been getting too normal. They need some more of this. What about you? What are you doing for Christmas?
Just chilling, man. Kicking in with my daughter and seeing her open presents. The best time of the year. She is so spoiled, all right? So spoiled. But for everybody out there, Wish you have a very, very Merry Christmas. If you like us, subscribe to us, rate us, leave comments. We love your comments.
We do.
Whatever you want to do, greatly appreciated. Until next time, I think the next time we'll see you. Next time we'll see you, Christmas will be over. New Year's won't be over, but Christmas will be over because we'll ask Hank next week what his New Year's resolutions are. See if he has any. Give him some time to be able to come up with them because I am very, very intrigued in this. All right.
Why
Well,
would I need to
until next
change?
time.
All right, we'll see
All
you
right.
next week.
Well, until next time, we will see you. We're out.